Hey y'all, iRix Guy here, back again with another video from my cable cutting or cord cutting video series. Now, within this video, I'm going to explain how both satellite TV providers and cable TV providers, how they often take your money and you may not even realize it. So before I continue, I want to remind everyone, expand this video's description and then click the link there. I've got a lot of information on my website about cord cutting, services that I use, equipment that I use, just things that I use to save a ton of money. So cable companies and satellite companies, and it doesn't matter, and I'm not going to point fingers at individual brands, but if you look at most any of them, every 6 months, every 12 months or so, they'll say, oh, special offer, whatever, and then when you read the fine print, it often says, valid for 6 months or 12 months or 24 months, and if you read the fine print, the special offer is somewhat decent. But if you read the fine print, then you often discover that after that expires, that it's going to be extremely expensive. And then a lot of the cable companies, a lot of the satellite companies, they'll often say, well, we'll give you an additional discount if you use auto pay. So, that sounds, well, what's that matter? I can link my credit card or I can link my bank account and get this extra discount. In reality, what that's doing is that's a play that they're making, because their assumption is that some people probably have a lot of bills and they may have a lot of charges to their credit card monthly. They may have a lot of automatic withdrawals from their bank account monthly, and these payments may go unnoticed. And that's what they're hoping for. So they get you on the auto pay. Well, to incentivize that, they're saying, oh, if you sign up for auto pay, we'll give you X discount. In reality, what they're doing is signing you up for auto pay with the expectation that you'll forget to cancel, or you won't notice that they continue to creep the price up, monthly or every year or whatever. So there's a lot of things they're doing there. So that's one of the games they play. And the other thing, and again, this is applicable for satellite TV providers, cable TV providers. Another thing they often do is in the fine print, even if you're getting this promotional offer or whatever, in the fine print, they'll often have some verbiage saying early cancellation fee or something like that. So that's another way, if you're getting close to the end of whatever awesome deal and then you try to cancel, there's often cancellation penalties, so that if you call and if you choose, oh, speaking of that, you probably won't be able to cancel through their website, because often what they want you to do to cancel is to speak with a representative, and that gives them an opportunity to try to retain your business. So they may say, well, we'd hate to see you go, this, that, and the other, but, why don't we offer you blah, blah, blah. But then there's also the, well, if you're adamant about canceling and you go through all those hoops, they're going to make it painful. You're going to have to wait on hold in a call center's queue. You're finally going to get with an agent. That agent is probably going to be, they're probably going to be not in a hurry to cancel you. They're going to do everything. They're going to try everything they can to keep you there. And, one of those things they may try, if they try to offer you all these deals to retain your business and then, you're adamant about canceling, then they'll probably come up with there's a penalty fee if you cancel, blah, blah, blah. And that's another opportunity they have to try to keep the customer on. And the other thing is just being in the call, in the call queue, waiting on one agent. You get the first agent is probably a tier 1. You speak with them, they probably can't do much of it. Well, we got to transfer you to tier 2 or our loyalty department or whatever they want to call it. And by the time you've done that, time is money. So just calling in, the simple act of calling in to discontinue a television service, whether it's cable or satellite, the simple act of doing that is a lot of time. And a lot of people aren't willing to invest the time to even cancel their service. So then what often happens, they don't cancel because they just, they waited on hold too long and it was an inconvenience. They didn't have the time to deal with that. So they just let the service continue. And when the service continues, because their special promotional rate's about to expire, then their monthly fees or annual fees, however they're billed, that goes up. So, depending upon the type of person, there's people at all different levels financially. But there's people that are extremely wealthy that nickel and dime everything, And, they're not going to let something like that happen. There's people that are extremely wealthy and just don't care. They're like, oh, what's $100, $200 a month? To them, that may be nothing. But then there's people that are extremely broke and they still drop off, and then they're getting hit with these crazy charges, maybe a few $100s a month for something they may not even be taking the time to be aware of. Oh, well, that's withdrawing from my bank account monthly, or that's withdrawing, that's being charged my credit card monthly. They don't take the time to even notice that. And that is what these satellite TV providers and these cable TV providers are banking on. They want to suck you in. They want to get you to be a customer, and then they don't want to let you go. And they're trained to not let you go. They've got loyalty departments. So if you do like a cable TV or satellite TV service and you want to try to get a good deal, and I did this for many years, I would set a reminder in my phone. Okay, I've got a 6-month promo or I've got a 12-month promo. And a month or so before that, I would call in. And it was the same thing, may I speak with your loyalty department? That's the key thing. If a company doesn't advertise their loyalty department on their website or within their call center, when you call in, press 1 for this, press 2 for that. A tactic that I often use is when they say, how may we help you today? I would just say loyalty department or customer service, loyalty department, and just say it over and over. And that IVR, that interactive voice response, the automated system in most call centers, it'll often pick that up and say, oh, okay, we're going to transfer you to an agent. When you get to that first agent, they're not going to be worth anything. Just say, I'd like to speak with your loyalty department, please. And once you get, loyalty department on the phone, that's when you can really poke and prod and try to get the best deal they're willing to offer. So, I did that for several years, several different providers, satellite TV, and then I had some cable TV, and then I had it was through the DSL TV. It's a racket, and I would call them, and I would one of the best experiences I had recently, and it finally dried up, and I'll get to that in a minute. I actually had it to where for the satellite TV they were paying me. They were crediting my account $10 a month because I haggled so much. But then that wore out, and then they were charging me $20 a month, and then that was about to expire, and they were about to charge me $60 a month. And keep in mind, that was just a bare bones. That was just a bare bones satellite TV subscription plan. Just the basic channels, nothing great, but it was going to be that expensive. So finally I called them, and this is, by the way, this is what led to my cord cutting that you can check out. Check out this videos playlist. You can find all my cord cutting videos, and again, check out my website to find all the equipment, all the tactics that I use. But yeah, so finally, I called, and they said, oh, call back in the early part of September, and we'll have some, loyalty offers by then. I called back, they still didn't have them. My promo rate was going to expire at the end of September. So I called back a final time, and I said, you've kept crying wolf here. You said, call back, we're going to give you a loyalty offer, we're going to retain your business for satellite TV. And at that time, they still didn't have it. So the agent that I spoke with in the loyalty department said, well, what we can do, sir? We can offer you $25 a month for service for another month. And, there's a possibility we may have loyalty rate by then. And I said, I don't want that. I said, I want to cancel your service. I said, you've cried wolf, too many times. I've been able to do this annually and successfully win a palatable monthly fee for service. But now that's not going to happen. I said, I'm at $20 a month now. That's more than the -10 a month. And now you're telling me that you're going to give me $25 a month just for 1 month with the possibility that there may be a loyalty deal before that 1 month expires. No, I don't want that. I want to get rid of it now. This got really nasty. This got so nasty. They said, well, sir, we can't cancel it today. The earliest we can cancel it is September now. It'll be late October. I said, what? They said, yeah. And they started rattling off all this legal speak, whatever they were calling it. I said, no. I said, I'm your customer. I'm always right. And I am canceling this garbage today. I want to get rid of my satellite TV plan today. They got rude. I asked for a supervisor. He said, well, we don't have a supervisor. I said, do you work in a contact center? Yes, I do. Well, every contact center has supervisors. So let me speak with your supervisor, please. They never put the supervisor on the phone. This call concluded. Long story short, And this is where it got funny. Then I got on a chat with that same company, that same satellite TV company, explained my experience with the previous agent. That agent quickly discontinued my satellite TV service. They quickly sent me an email in writing, and that's important, always get it in writing, confirming that satellite TV service had been discontinued on that day, and then also confirmation that my wireless, my cell phone, or my internet were not impacted. Because often you call these call centers, they don't know what they're doing, they don't care. So if you bundle multiple services with a provider, be super careful. Because if you do cancel one of those services, they're probably going to mess up and they're probably going to cancel multiples. And that leads me to the next thing, where these bundles. So that's the other thing they'll try to do. They'll try to tie you in, if this, then that. So for example, one of the big ones, and again, I'm not name dropping companies, so you can probably figure out who they are. One of the big ones, they have cell phones, they have internet, and they have TV. The new thing is that to get the best discounts, you need to bundle. So often they're not going to offer you the best discounts unless you bundle. And part of that, and this is where it gets really mean and nasty, one of these big providers, now they say, well, if you don't have TV and internet, your internet is not going to have unlimited data, which if you're not technically minded, that may not mean a lot. But what it means is that what they're doing is they're creating that perceived demand to have the TV service so you get the unlimited data. But if you disconnect their TV service like I did, then there's probably going to be monthly data caps, meaning that with the one I'm with, for example, it's 1 terabyte. And we're going to talk about that in other videos, how to deal with internet monthly plans that are not unlimited, how to deal with that and not, and try to not exceed your monthly data transfer allowance. Because if you do that, they often, and they should have it documented somewhere, dig it up. If you can't find it on their website, call and demand it in writing. Again, in writing, do you have unlimited data? Okay, if not, how much monthly transfer do you allow? How do you view that transfer? Do you have a tool on your website where I can view how much I've used so I know if I need to slow down my TV watching or whatever so I don't exceed that? And if I do exceed, how much is it for exceeding per gigabyte? Is it $10 for every 50 gigs, or is it, whatever? And if so, is there a hard cap? Can that go on forever? So say, for example, you had 1,000, you went to 2,000 to 2 terabytes. Could it just continue to go on, or do they say, well, once you hit X monthly data overage charges, we'll discontinue, not discontinue, but they will stop charging more for overages once you hit. Some of them do that. So find out, know what you're working with. But we're going to talk about that in a separate video. But, back to the cord cutting thing, how cable TV providers, how satellite TV providers, how they just rip you off. I hope this video is really just making you mad and making you wake up and realize, God, I'm spending all this money. Maybe you haven't looked at your bank statement. Maybe you haven't looked at your credit card statement. And if you watching this video has encouraged you to do that, I've done something right. So, the next step, though, is to actually take the initiative and go out and do something about it. And this is what I did. So when I canceled my satellite TV in September of 2019, I got a call the next day. Sir, this is so-and-so at satellite company, blah, blah, blah. And we heard that you had a bad experience with a customer service rep yesterday. Tell me what happened. And they were a senior member of the loyalty team. And I said, first of all, I want to congratulate the second person that I didn't speak with, but I chatted with on your website. And I said, they did a great job of terminating my service. And this satellite TV service in writing has been terminated on that day. And that's what I wanted. And I said, let me tell you about the previous agent. And I told them the story I just told y'all about how they didn't want to cut it off. They were trying to create all of these legal terms saying that, oh, we can't cancel it today. It's going to be a month or so away. And I said, no. I said, that's just garbage. And then they said, well, sir, we'd like to earn you back. Can we give you another year of service for $20? I said, no. I said, you would have to pay me to have your service back. I said, firstly, I feel like a hustler. Every year, every 6 months, every 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, whatever term I'm in, I have to call and I have to renegotiate. Well, wait, I have to call. I have to wait on hold an excessive amount of time. I have to be transferred multiple times to get to the correct person that has the power to offer an acceptable loyalty rate. I said, this is unacceptable. I said, number two, I don't even care about TV. I said, I'm a YouTuber. I said, that's my thing. I don't care about TV. And then, number three, I said, I said, can you pay me to have your service? And they said, no. I said, okay, then you will not have my service. You will not win me back as a customer. I said, you would have to pay me. And then they went on and they said, well, we want to hear more about that supervisor or agent that you spoke with and had such a horrible experience. I said, well, you'll hear a lot. I said, because I'm typing a letter that I will drop in snail mail. That way of sending messages in the past. You put something on a piece of paper and you sign it. I'm going to type it and then I'm going to sign it. I'm going to put a stamp on it. I'm going to handwrite their address and my return address. And I'm going to detail blow by blow the horrible customer service experience that led to me completely cutting the cord and getting rid of satellite TV forever. And this, again, that was satellite TV for me was the final straw. I've done the same thing with cable TV and then the stuff that's delivered through the DSL. I mean, it's a total racket. And I mean, the way that these companies nowadays, especially realizing that people have the opportunity to use what we're going to explain within my other videos within this playlist, how, if you choose to cut the cord, how can you still get great TV? How can you still get great deals? And how can you stay away from the mean and nasty satellite and cable TV providers where you've got these the stuff we just talked about, the limited term deals, and then you got to call back and be a hustler and negotiate and renegotiate. It's just a headache. Wouldn't it be so much easier to just have free over-the-air TV? Wouldn't it be so much easier to, say you like one of the big networks. I personally love HBO, and I personally love Showtime. They've got some outstanding miniseries on those channels. I love them. There's a few that I'm addicted to. At this point in time, I'm addicted to Billions. I'm addicted to Succession. I like that new Righteous Gemstone show. I like Ray Donovan. So there's a lot of stuff that I like on those channels, but I don't want to be married to a cable TV provider or a satellite TV provider to get that. So within my other videos, I'm going to explain how I get those premium channels, how I get the free over-the-air HDTV, and how I get an assortment of other channels if I want to do so without getting tied into a contract with a satellite or cable TV provider. So you can tell, if you've watched this video in its entirety, you can tell that I am very fired up about this. I hate cable TV. I hate satellite TV. But you know what I love is saving money and not having contracts. So again, expand this video's description and then click the link there, because I've written this very exhaustive write-up with all the equipment, all the services, everything that you might want to consider if you're tired of paying expensive monthly fees for satellite TV, cable TV. And maybe your fees you feel are reasonable. Maybe you got lucky and maybe you got grandfathered into a certain rate. But maybe that's still too expensive. Maybe you can do better. Expand this video's description, check out that article on my website, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/IRIXGuy, where you're watching this video, because, again, I've got the playlist, cutting the cord, eliminating cable TV or satellite TV. I'm going to put all of this in there. If there's something you don't see within my video playlist, just ask, because I'm always looking for new video ideas. And I mean, this is something that I'm very passionate about, and I'm recently passionate about it, because this is the first time, September of 2019, is the first time that I've failed to negotiate a loyalty rate so that provider could win back my business. And they didn't. Well, they called back and they tried to, but they called too late. And it's actually a blessing in disguise, because what I've found is even better than that $20 or whatever a month that they were offering me. We feel so bad, and this is the loyalty department head dude, and this, that, and the other. So I just think it's funny. Tell me what you think within the comment section below. And again, if you want to try to save money and you want to try to cut that cord or just beat that dish off of your house or your trailer or whatever, check out my videos, check out my website. Thanks for your viewership, and be sure to subscribe. And when you do, ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. Y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, Captain Irix Guy here. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to subscribe. It's youtube.com/Irix Guy. And ring that bell icon when you do to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.